all of us on the call. I think it is 10 minutes past the hour, so we will start. I just want to start by asking a question to anybody can volunteer and be able to answer. I know last week I was not there, and you learned something on VLOOKUP and HLOOKUP. So maybe somebody can unmute and explain to us what those functions can do, and which is the scenario that you are going to use those particular functions. So now we are talking about HLOOKUP and VLOOKUP. So I'll pick, or is there anybody who can volunteer to give us the difference between the two? Somebody? Okay, maybe let me get to the assistant instructor, Yvonne. Yvonne? Yes, maybe you can remind the class what you taught last week, then I'll pick from there.
Okay, so we said that VLOOKUP is vertical lookup and HLOOKUP is horizontal lookup. They are used when looking up something, and VLOOKUP is used mostly with columns and HLOOKUP is used with rows. Yes, that is what we discussed. And then we saw the formula on how to perform both VLOOKUP and HLOOKUP. We saw that the formula is the same. What changes is how you specify the columns and how you specify the rows when it comes to VLOOKUP and HLOOKUP. Yes, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. I think maybe the next thing I would ask is there anybody has a problem with using VLOOKUP and HLOOKUP? Anybody with a problem, vertical? Yes, I can see Newton is saying he has a problem. Who else?
Not necessarily.
Yes.
Not necessarily, but just to reiterate what Yvonne has been able to mention.
Yes.
The difference between VLOOKUP, actually the vertical lookup and horizontal lookup, is that one works with the columns and then the other one works with the rows. But the approach is similar. It's only that that when you're dealing with the VLOOKUP, then the functionality is predominant with the columns on the VLOOKUP, and then on the horizontal lookup, the functionality is predominant with the row. Additionally, also I've been able also to go through the Xlookup, that it doesn't have to follow those patterns. In Xlookup, you can pick a column at any other point, and then it gives you the results that you want. So it actually solves the problem that both the VLOOKUP and HLOOKUP has. That's the Xlookup.
Yeah, correct. Thank you very much. So thank you for the clarification, Newton. I think you have said it right. HLOOKUP, Xlookup comes to solve the problem of vertical lookup and HLOOKUP. So probably what I would want to do is to demonstrate lookup a little bit, Xlookup, so that you're able to do that. So my take is that you adequately covered VLOOKUP and vertical lookup and horizontal lookup, and I'll jump straight to Xlookup, just as a recap of what we are supposed to have, then we are going to proceed from there. I want to make this class a very relaxed day because I want to look at some other functions which are basically used for cleaning. So I'm going to share my screen so that we will pick from there. So if you're able to see my screen, you can type 0 on the charts. Type 0 on the Zoom charts if you are able to see my screen. Yes, thank you very much. I can see Newton, Celine, Janet. Yes, Treslin. Yeah, I think you are able to see the screen. Just as Newton has said, we have another function which is Xlookup, and this is regardless of where the column is, and regardless of where the row is. So Xlookup, of course, you want to find something in a table, and it returns the result from the same row, but of course in another column, regardless of the column that we are talking about. So that in VLOOKUP and horizontal lookup, you had to specify the column or the row number, but in this case you don't have to. Okay, but of course, what is very important is that this Xlookup is not available in some versions, like 2016, 2019. But of course, we are saying that once you set it up, it's able to function. So just like the other functions, this is the lookup syntax for that. So you can see here we will have the keyword Xlookup. Then the first argument is what you are going to look for. Okay, and where are you going to look it? To look for that value, and therefore we have the lookup array. Maybe I can have a different color. Then we have now what to return. And I can have this as a different color, maybe like that. And then, of course, we are going to have, if not found, what's going to return if not found. Then we have the match code and we have the search code. So let me use this example here. And I'm going to use about 3 of them. If you can see here, this is an example of how we can use the Xlookup. And you can see, maybe I can enlarge a little bit so that you can see that. Now you can see here that we have the column in column 1, column B, we have the country, and these are the list of countries that you can be able to see there, about 10 of them. Then we have the abbreviation, China, CN for China, IN for India, then we have US, United States, ID, and so forth. And then we have the prefix of that particular country. Yeah, of course, every country has a prefix, which usually comes with the phone number, plus 86 plus 254 and so forth. Now, this is demonstrating how you can use Xlookup. You can see here that I can have a subtable so that I have the name of the country here. then I have the code. But of course here, what I'm trying to do is, the question that I'm trying to ask is, what is the dial code for Brazil? Remember, I can also put another one down here. What's the dial code for India? And so on like that. So this is the formula, and you can be able to see in the formula bar that it has the arguments here. We have Xlookup. Then we have, what are we looking for? We are looking for this value F, this Brazil. We are looking for it, and so you can just have Brazil in quotation, inside the quotation, or you reference the cell, and like here is F2, so you can see here F2. Then of course this is the reference, or this is the array that you're going to look for the value. So this one, this second argument here. Okay, so we'll have it. You'll have it B2 B11. You can see here we are looking for Brazil, where in this first column B, and you can see here it is referenced B2 through B11. So B2 through down to B11 here. So you are going to look for this. But what are you going to return? You are going to return this other column D. So that's why you can see what is going to return is D2 through D11. Okay, so it's going to return the prefix given the country. So there are functions which are straightforward, and you can always figure them out and be able to have them. Okay, so one of the questions that I would ask is, we want to know what these black employees. Remember, we have been using our employee data, which we have used for some time. So we want to find out these black employees who are from the United States. So what are we going to look for? We are going to look for the country, which is this one here. Okay, we are going to look for the country. And as we look for the country, we are going to return the name. Who are these black employees? Of course, an employee can be known by its name. I mean, by his or her name, or by the ID, the employee ID. So you can choose to return, the employee ID, and you can also choose to return the name. Okay, so this is something that should be straightforward. I want us to figure it out after this, so that we are going to have that. You can choose both of them. Choose both of them so that you can return the employee name and the ID. Okay, when you search for that. So in fact, that should form a basis for our assignment for this week. Okay, now I want to proceed. Now there are some other values which work just like the lookup functions, and this one is index and match. Okay, I'm going to share an example which is also straightforward, so that you can be able to know how it is used. So index and match is also used as lookup values. Okay, and that one should not be any problem. I'll give an example and an example of a formula, and then you are going to try that. So today I want us to look at a different group of functions, and you will find that these functions that we have, so, in most cases, they become very handy when you are doing cleaning. Remember, we said that you transfer. Sometimes we import data from another application. It could be serve. It could be all this data that we are dealing with, like .org, .doc, and so forth. You are importing them from another application, and you might find that they are not in the state that you would want the data to be, and therefore the formulas that we are going to look at today will assist you when you are trying to do that. Now, and the first one that I want us to look at is what we call the ampersand simple, and then we have concat or concatenate, and we have the text join functions. Of course, they are used to combine whatever we have in the cells. So now, if you look at this ampersand simple, what happens is that this is used for combining data. You combine, either text or values. You have two cells, and you want to combine them. You want to combine those particular values, and therefore, this ampersand symbol is going to be used. Now, we also have concat or concatenate function, which is also used for combining cells values. And then we also have what we call the text join. Now, let's look at each one of them. Now, like the ampersand symbol here, we are saying you match value cell in cell 1 with another value in cell 2. Now, let me open up a blank sheet here. Let me enlarge. Now, let me have here that I have this one here. Okay, I have that word, and here I have this one here. Okay, now I want to combine these two words. So what we are saying here is that you are going to use the ampersand symbol to do that, and you can see here that this is whatever we have in cell 1. As you can be able to see this example here, that we have this, we have that, and we have this other one, which is also the reference for that cell. So we want to combine whatever we have in P2 and whatever we have in Q2. Okay, but in this case, you can see here that we are going to have this function here that is going to combine these two cells, having the ampersand symbol beginning and at the end. And in between that, we have what? We have the quotation. What does this mean? What it means is the whole of this means that actually combine that and that. Okay. So let's do this. Here we want to combine this, so I'll have an equal sign. Okay. Now this text is in B2. B2, so I can have B2. Then I'll have the ampersand symbol like that. Okay. But between this, I must have the quotation marks. Then, so you can see what that word is becoming. What is becoming is rather than the word. Okay. So you might find yourself in a situation where you want to combine this word here and this one here, and you are going to use this particular ampersand symbol. Now, sometimes you would want to do what? You would want to have a space between the two words. For example, you may have let me use an example here. Let me have maybe something like this, president, and I want to combine this say Biden, like that. Okay, I want to combine these words. So again, of course, you want to combine, but you need to have a space in between. So I will again have the equal sign. Then I have this one here. Then I have the ampersand, simple. Then we have that. Then we have that. Then we have this. Then enter. So you can see here that there's no space in between, but I can space here, just between the quotation marks. You can simply give some space there, and you press enter, and you can be able to see that it's able to create a space. So that should be straightforward. There's no problem. I think we should need to have one space here, like that. Okay. So that is what we are going to have. And definitely you will have joined. But then now what will happen is you have the formulas, but if you want to have these values the way they are, you can as well copy this, and then when you paste as values. Then you're not going to have the formula being carried along. Okay, so that's basically what happens there. Now the other function that I want us to look at is oh yeah, we have an assignment here which I'm also going to give it to you, because we have this ampersand symbol here. You can see here, Emily Davis is a name to an employee. Is a name to an employee, and you can be able to construct this sentence by combining what? By combining the cells. So this is in one cell. It is in one cell. Of course, reference is to your employee data. Okay. Now then we have this one here. We have this is also another column, and then the city where the employee is living is another one. Okay, and then we have the United States, which is also another one. So you can combine now all this, and you are able to put this text. You see this text here. You put it in the between the quotation marks. Okay, you can do that, and it will be able to give you such a sentence, and so forth. Now the next function is the concat, and of course again this is used for combining text. But the difference here is that we will have the arguments in between the parentheses be separated by a comma. Simply separated by a comma. Okay. So we can have like we have an example here. In this real example, we have concatenate, then we have W21, which is a reference, then we have X21. So you can see this one is going to join the text in the cells W21 and X21. But of course, there will be no space. Again, to create space, use the quotation marks. Now let's look at that. Let's look at that. So we have, let me remove this one here. Well, let me just copy this again. Copy them down here, and I'll probably have a different color. So I'll simply have equal sign, then concatenate. Okay, then I'll have this one, then separate by a comma, then I have that. Then you close that parenthesis, then you press enter. So you can see again, it does the same thing. That's the same thing. The only difference is here is that this one is going to separate the arguments by a comma. Okay, so the same thing to that one there. Now, if you want to create space, what you need to do is you will have the quotation marks again, like this. we'll have that, then that. Okay, so you can see here that I have a quotation marks in its own separated by the commas. Okay, and then I can simply add the rows, and then I press enter like that. So you can see you are able to separate. You are able to separate by using the quotation marks like that. Okay. They are straightforward. That's why I'm moving very fast. They are straightforward, and I'll give you enough time to practice even before the end of the lesson. So, so that's what we have. This is an exercise I'm going to give you. What you do again is you just use the same. You remember the ampersand simple, but of course, you basically move down there, and then be able to combine the same thing that we are talking about. Okay. Now, then we have what we call the trim function. Now, the trim function is very useful because, as I said, sometimes when you copy some data from another application and you copy it into Excel, what happens is that you're not going to have the right format. And I'm going to demonstrate using a practical example here so that you really appreciate what I'm trying to do. Now let me have an example here. Let me have a list of names. Okay. In fact, let me open a list for the class. Yeah, I'm trying to open a list. Okay. This is a list of names for the class. Okay. And I don't need these others. I just want to hide these ones. Let me hide that one because I just want to work with this one here. Now let me use this example here to see where trim is becoming very, very important. Okay, let me hide that. So these are the list of names for the class, for our class. So we have the first name, we have the last name. Now let's look at this. Now, when you look at this name here, let me use even another one here, down here. Let me use this one. Okay. Now let me search for this name Ongeri. Okay, I want to search for that name. So I will use the search button. Okay, I'll basically use the search button here. I want to find, because I know you know that. I want to find this one, Ongeri. And then I say find all. Now you can see here that it is able to find, if I was working with so many rows and columns, then it's able to direct me to where we have this. You can see it is getting this Ongeri, the name Ongeri, in cell C12. And you can be able to see here. This is C12. Okay. Now let me distort this name a little bit. Let me distort by adding a space. Let me add a space like this. Okay. And then I press enter. Now let me search. I see if I'll get it. Let me search. Find. And then find all. Oh, it's getting it. It's getting it again. Now let me distort by putting a space here. Okay. It's getting again. Okay, but this one is okay. It's getting the whole of it. It's okay, no problem. Now, what I wanted to do was let me have another space here. Okay, and then I want to find Hungary. Yeah, you can see. You see, the moment I have space, it's not going to get. So what happens is that the trim function is going to be very important because it's going to remove the spaces. Okay, it's going to remove the spaces. Now let's see. Let's see what happens here. Have the equal sign, then trim. Then trim. Then I have this one here. And I close that. Okay, it is removing the space before and after. Before and after. So yeah, we have situations where you can have the now I think here just to have that. So sometimes what we are saying is when it comes to sorting, okay, let me just I want a perfect situation where this one can work. Let me remove the rows. Let me remove the spaces that I have put. How do we have that? Now, but let me have this. Let me have this. Let me have space. Okay. And then I want to sort. I want to sort this. Sort. And then I want to sort by column C. Sort by A to Z. Let me sort by column C, which is what? Which is last name. Okay. And I want to sort from A to Z. Yeah, let me sort that one. Now you can see, yes, this is now what I wanted to explain. You see, when you perform sorting, it may not be able to sort, you will not be able to sort correctly because you can see here, I've tried to sort this data in ascending order. That's from A to Z. But you can see where it's putting Hungary. Hungary is being put as the first. You know, this one here should have been down here. Should have been among these names. Okay. So in such a situation, you may want to clean the data by using the trim function. You trim this so that you remove all the spaces. Okay. So like I'll now have what? I'll now have, maybe I can have that value being like that. Okay. Like that. So, but I need to trim this one. So I'll have equal to trim. Then I trim that. Enter. So that when you sort, let me try to sort IC. Let me try to sort. I perform the custom sort. Custom sort. Then I set. No, I should have select all this like that. Sort, custom sort. Then I want to sort by last name. So we have column L. Yeah, let me put the label here. Let me say last name 2. last name 2 so that they are separate. So I select that. Sorry. Then sort, custom sort, and to sort by last name 2. Last name 2. Then from A to Z. A to Z. That's the values like that. Now let's see. Is it doing it right? Now you can see that in the column that I've introduced here, Ongeri is the name Ongeri has been sorted out properly. Okay, but in the first instance here, it was not sorted properly because it has spaces before and it has spaces after. Okay, so we have spaces before and after, and the only way you can do this is to do what we call the trimming. So you trim. So trimming here, basically what it does is it removes all the spaces. It removes all the spaces from the text except for single spaces between words. Okay, so if you have maybe two names, you have Ruben Chemete, you have Selin Odunga, you're going to maintain that space. It will remove the spaces before and after, and not between the words. If there are two spaces between any two words, then it's going to remove one space to remain with one. Okay, and as we are saying, this is basically used for cleaning when you are preparing data for something, for to have it the right form. Okay, so trim function does not remove this non-breaking space character. It doesn't remove. Okay, but of course it removes the ones before and after. And if there are three spaces in between two texts, it's going to remove two and it's going to remain with one. Okay, right. And so it has the argument that it has. We basically require the text, and once you have the text, now it is going to remove the spaces. Okay, now another this is mentioning more about the trim function. So we have you can also be able to use that for you can be able to use to convert a text string into a number. No, these are different things altogether. Sorry for that. So we are done with trim function. Then we have the value function. The value function again is straightforward, and this ones are used to convert a value. Sometimes you may have a value in Excel, but it's not being recognized as a numeric, and therefore to make it to be a number, then you are going to use the value function, and the argument is just the value, then the text. Now let me have this as I illustrate. You see an example. Okay, let me have this maybe 12. We used to pay two values here, like that. Now these are the values. Okay, and what I can have, let me have these values here, and I format this as a string or basically a text. Let me have it as a text like that. Now, of course, our text is always automatically aligned to the left. Okay, so it doesn't have any value, because these are texts. But I would want to convert this into a value. And what I'll basically need to do, I will apply the equal sign and use this word value. And within the brackets, I use that, like that. So you can see here that this is a text. That's why it is aligned to the left. But the moment I apply the formula value, it's going to be aligned to the right, meaning that it's a numeric. This value has been converted from a text into what? Into a text into a numeric value. That's why it's aligned like that. Now let's see. Let me have this. If I input a formula here, let me say I want to multiply. Let me have this. Just to illustrate what we are saying here. Let me multiply here. I want to multiply a value. Let me have here 2, then we have 3, for example. Okay. Then I want to multiply. This by this one here. So what by this, okay. Now, and just a minute. It is ln, sorry. L2. Then we have n2. I'm trying to multiply that. So it's by 2. Enter. Yeah, you can see it is not giving. Then I want to multiply this by that. Yes, you can see here that when I multiply this one by 2, it's not going to give a value because this value here is a text. Okay, but the moment I convert this value into a value and then I multiply by 2, you'll get 4,000. Now, what is this one demonstrating? It's demonstrating that this value here, is a text. Okay, that value is a text. While this one here is a value. I want to have this one is a numeric. Okay, so we have a value, then we have these are text, these are numerics. That's why when I put this formula here, it's not giving me 4,000. When I multiply this by that, it will give you 4,000. Meaning this one is a value, this is a numeric, this one is not a numeric. So when you use value, this particular function here is going to do what? It's going to convert that particular value. But remember, it must have a number format. Okay, it must have a value, which will be easy to convert now when you apply the formula. So decimal separators, the currency symbols, all of this can be able to convert it because they are numeric. Okay, so this is basically what the value function does, is convert a text string into a number, of course a numeric, and we are saying it is useful when working with data you import from other sources, and of course when you are dealing with numeric data that has been stored as text. Okay, so any number that has been stored as text, then you can use the value function to convert into that. Now, here's an example, and in this example is the computer is giving this value. You can be able to see we have this one as a string, 123456. 123456 is this, yeah? 1234.56. There's a comma here. A comma here. Now, what happens here is this value has been stored as a number, so I can have it as a text like that. Okay. And of course, I have value equal sign. Then you have value. Then you have that. Then you close that. And you press enter. So you're now going to convert in value. And if I have 2 again here, I try to multiply this by 2 like that. It's working. Then I multiply this by 2. So you can see that here it is giving the text, here is giving the value. Of course, showing that this is numeric, but this one is a string. Okay. Yeah, so that is it. This is an example of how you can be able to convert the value. Now, I had shared the data on vehicles data. I think I will share again, and you'll just use the value function to to convert. It may be in two steps or one step. Depending on how you can play about with the vehicles that we have there. Now, then we have what we call the unique function. Now, the unique function is used to extract a list of unique values from a range or array of cells. Sometimes we talk about outliers. You have data, and you'll find that there's a range that some values will fall into, but then there are some values which are extreme. There are values which are extreme, and if you want those extreme values, you can simply say unique. It will compare with other values. Excel will compare with other values, and then it's going to extract, for that. And of course, we are saying the later versions of Excel, Excel has the unique function, but the others do not have. So the syntax is very straightforward. The syntax is very straightforward. You basically do what? You basically type the word unique, and then you reference the array. So this is the first argument, and then by which column, and then maybe exactly once, or you can have many times. Okay. So but the most important thing in the unique function is that you use the by. Use the column that you need to specify, and of course the array that you're going to have that. Okay. So the array is what is required. That's the range of the cells which you want to extract the unique value, and we are saying this one is a must. Okay. And then this other one is the column, which is optional, and specifies whether the unique value should be extracted from the column or from the row. Okay. And of course, we have the other one, exactly once, which is also optional, and specifies whether to include only the values that appear exactly once in the range or the array. Okay. Or you want to include all the values. Okay. So again, I want you to figure out on that. Okay. Now, so I've moved very fast because these Excel formulas are straightforward, and once you get used to, in any case, they have the same, they have the same formats. The word that has been used is you can be able to foretell and say this can be used for this and that. So I've moved very fast because they are straightforward, and I want to leave at that because I know we still have a lot of time. I moved very fast because I would want to leave you alone to do the lab work. Because I wanted to attend to something which is very urgent and that I don't want to miss today. I want to share the lab work now. Then you can do between now and then the next class, and then I need to have this, and I don't know if all of us are okay with that.
Mr. Chairman, can you share the presentation? If not the recording.
The PowerPoint, yes?
Yes, the PowerPoint.
Okay, I'll share it straight away. Yeah, maybe, is there any question from the class? I moved very fast today. Where's Yvonne? Yvonne?
Yes.
Yes, you are there. I want to probably invite some comments through your assistance.
Okay.
On what we have presented so far, because our next week we will look at how to create totals and subtotals, and of course as we move to other functions like like the regression, correlation, and so forth.
Okay. Newton has raised his hand.
You can have the students just commenting a little bit, make some comments before I share the slide and the assignment.
Newton, please go ahead.
I just wanted to inquire, apart from the ampersand symbol,
yes,
that can combine cells, and of course the concatenate. I wanted just to know, for example, if I want to duplicate a cell or a column, for example, I want to know if values in column, or if the values in column 1 are similar. I don't know if you'll be able to understand me. So I want to duplicate that column, then I create a comparison column in between. I don't know if we can use Xlookup to duplicate the column.
Yes. Now you can up to this point now you can use a number of approaches. Okay. But the rule of the thumb is you always use the simplest. Okay. Like, for example, if you wanted, allow me to share this screen, Newton. If I go to right, let me share my screen again. Now, if I go to right, you have a list. You have a list of
Yeah, just create a list in a column L. For example,
yes.
I can give you.
You want to have these names?
No, not necessarily the names.
Yes.
You can retype whatever I want to tell you.
Yes. Okay.
So type active, hold.
Like that?
Yes, active, hold. So of course they are overlapping. There are many there. There are many active and there are many hold. So you can type several.
Okay.
Yes, you can type several. Active, hold, active, hold, active, hold, active, hold. Like that.
Okay.
Yes. Let them be in order. Yes.
I want to have them in order.
Not necessarily in order. They can take an order. Yeah, they can take an order. Now, of course, at the name here, type process status here at L, process status here. Process status. Process status. Good. Now, what I want is that column M will be a comparison. Will be a comparison column.
Oh, yes. Here.
Column M. So type comparison. Then now, on the N, I want you to use view lookup to copy what is in L to come to N. And then we'll name it process status 1 or 2.
So this column should be process.
Now here we are going to use a logic. We'll use a logic here. I'll give you the logic. The logic will be, I want to compare if
active
to N2 and give it the
you can use match.
this L, for example, to copy, you can put an equal sign here.
Yeah, of course, that's another approach again. You can
No, not here, not here. At N,
N here.
And you, of course, you can say equals to into bracket or equals to L2, something like that. Just equals to L2, L2, and then you enter. So, of course, if you click here, it will bring you all this. That is the basic. But now, when I'm dealing with a very huge amount of data, very huge amount of data. So I wanted actually an approach on how I can be able to use a view lookup to do the same work that you've just done here.
What I can say, Newton, there are so many approaches. View lookup is one of them. Equal sign is one of them, because the moment you apply this formula here and you double click this part, you don't necessarily need to drag up to wherever record you have. You basically double click on that, and it's able to replicate itself up to the end. So there could be so many approaches, but the most important thing is use the simplest always. To achieve what you want. Of course, we want to make it easy to get for us to be able to get to what we want to achieve at the end of the day. So there could be so many. You can use, if you can use VLOOKUP, you can use, there are quite a number which we have learned so far, and you are yet to discover more, even a combination of those particular functions.
Okay.
Okay. I hope I have somehow answered the question. Okay. Otherwise, thank you for the observation. It's always good you think through these functions, and you'll find that sometimes your need the need for that particular formula is what is going to, to invoke what you are going to apply. Okay, and so forth. Without getting complex and so on. So as I said, I want to attend to something, and therefore I'm going to share the slide right now, and then the assignment that I want you to do next class, because they are straightforward, like the trim function, the ampersand simple, we have the we have the concatenate, we have the value. Those are straightforward. Okay, so thank you very much. Can I have one more comment, last comment? Then we'll stop there. So, okay, thank you very much. I know, yes.
I was saying, if there's no one with a comment, maybe I could say thank you for teaching.
Okay, thank you very much. Pleasure. Thank you very much for being there. I want to attend something small so that rush to next time. Okay, thank you very much and have a wonderful time. So I'll share. Let me share the slide and then the assignment. Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, so everyone, thank you for attending. As always, there is the attendance form link in the chats. Please fill it, and then let's meet during the Python class. Yes, I have sent the link in the chat. Please fill the attendance form. Thank you.
Okay.
Maybe